Hello again, flosstube. My name is Michelle. I go by the Chinook Crafter. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm so happy that you are spending some time with me right now. This is my channel where I mostly talk about cross stitch, and it's going to be cross stitch all today. I've not really been doing too much in my life, so I will be having a bit of a life event because it's a story, and sometimes there's humor in stories, or just, you know, sharing into the world, hoping things get better for you. Yeah, so as I've mentioned in my last one, I am trying a new area. I angled it slightly because I think the sun is better. I do have to, you know, it's all right behind me. There's no kids, so that's a big bonus, and it's not stupid hot. And so I'll take that as it is. And I also remember to flip my camera this time, so I'm not making that very dated mistake of filming vertically. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was not redoing it, so here's better today. We learn from our mistakes, we move on. Speaking of that, something I've noticed when people mention me or talk about me and my channel, the Chinook Crafter bit, I need to explain that one, I think, a little bit more often. So Chinook is just a regional term from where I live in Calgary, Alberta, in that area, and it's just when the wind comes up over the Rocky Mountain. We get warm air over from the Pacific Ocean up over the Rocky Mountains, and it causes a sudden increase in weather in the winter, and it's called a Chinook, which is, I've been told, translates as a snow eater. So basically we'll be negative 30 Celsius, and then like the next day plus 15, there's like a Chinook arch. And when I was just making my channel, I wanted like I like alliteration, I like something regional, so that's the Chinook Crafter. It's just for those that were wondering where the name came from. So yeah, that is that, and I guess I'll start talking about the fun things I did in June. This is the August 8th. I meant to film earlier. I guess I'll just do the big life update then. Calgary got hit by a very big hailstorm Thursday the 5th, a couple days ago, like literally a couple days ago. And we do get hail, but this was an abnormal amount of hail. Actually, my phone, just before it happened, I got an alert, and I've never gotten an emergency alert on my phone for hail. So that was and like 5 minutes later, we were getting pulverized. Like literally we got the alert. My neighbor like texted me like, hey, like, are you using your garage? Can I get like my truck in there? I gave his daughter like our garage keys because I was trying to put my kids to bed, because I was like, oh, we're just gonna have a thunderstorm. Ooh, that's gonna make it hard. Right, so I got the kids to bed, and we're lying there, and then the storm hit, and it was terrifying, like the sound of the hail hitting the roof, and one of the windows right outside of the kids' room actually was hit by hail and shattered. So then my neighbor, bless his soul, we have wonderful, fantastic neighbors. He came in to check out, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it's fine. Like we were double paned, like it broke out, like it broke, but the glass all fell downwards, so he came to check it out. And then after I was trying to get the kids settled back down after the storm, because the hail passed after like 10 minutes of just being, oh my God, I can't even describe how it felt. We still had like the wind and the lightning and the thunder, so my kids were terrified. So my neighbors were like sending me pictures of the damage outside, because my partner was at work, and so he was very stressed out about what's happening. So I was like, well, we're fine. If you've met him before on my previous channels, or Feo, that big chunky boy, he managed to pancake himself like that big under a couch for shelter. I don't know how he fit in there. Desperation. He was very squashed in there. So, got the kids to bed and was trying to do our own assessments. We're hard hit. We're not the worst in the neighborhood, but we're gonna need completely new siding, completely new roof. Like, we've lost some kid toys out in the yard, like lost some planters and everything can be replaced. No injuries, like, especially we just have to make sure we clean up all the glass from the broken window, and it's just, man, did not need that. And then, because our dryer kicked out a couple weeks ago, so we need to buy a new dryer, and now we have to buy a new roof and new sidings. And we just got an update on Guma, my partner's aunt's health, and she's not doing too well, so we're also looking at a ticket to Hong Kong for him. It's a great time. It's good times. So that's all happened last week, though, so it has no impact on my June. It's just what I'm dealing with right now. So it's going to be a kind of a mixture of haul and new starts and things like that, because I was that. Most of June I've spent working on my 2 round robins, which I will cut a little clip in right about now. I'm just inserting this clip of myself here. I am heading to work, and I work right by the post office, so I am mailing off my pieces, my 2 round robin pieces to Anna, and I won't have them when I fill my floss tube, so I just want to do them now so I can insert the clip in. So when I do my July update. So this right here is the round robin for Saskia, some stitching stuff. She didn't say which one this is. I believe this is like a purple, light lilac. It feels like a white felt to me. Like, it doesn't feel like it's Weigart, it feels like a white felt. And it's just a DMC variegated 4020 or 4022. Sorry, I've already put the floss away because she was very generous and gave us each a skein of our own floss. Luckily, she did a DMC, which was easy because I did this section right up here, and I was nearly done, and so I went to the corner and then down, and then when I was filling in the inner bits, it wasn't matching up, so I figured, oh, I just made a counting error. Sorry, I should also say this is Half the Fun by Ink Circle, so it's very travel themed, as you see, and it wasn't lining up, and I found out one of my very first motifs up here was off, and so I had to basically frog everything I did and then speed stitch it. If it had been my own project, I probably would have just adjusted and not really cared about it too much, but because it's for somebody else and other people would be counting off my mistakes, I was like, nope, it's got to be perfect. So I panicked and speed stitched, and it goes faster when you're stitching the same thing twice because you just all of a sudden you know what you're doing. And that is one of the joys of the ink circles, because they have to be exact, because if you're wrong, it really shows. And the benefit of that was, while I was getting that, Saskia is very diligent, and so she'd already finished and sent Teresa's pieces to me. So I both my pieces, and they both are going to the same destination. I was like, and before I made my mistake, I was like, ooh, what if I just took like an extra couple days, really focused on Teresa's piece and got them done? I could send them at the same time and like not ship to the States twice. And yeah, and it is what's happening, but that's mostly, but not on the same timeline it should be. But luckily I've talked to Anna, my group, like we're very, like that's a nice thing that nobody's holding each other accountable to deadlines, but we're not like, no, this is the date and you're, it's very flexible as long as you communicate. So then this is Teresa's piece, and I did the bottom section right there. And it is Wildflowers, also by Ink Circles, because it is the Ink Circles round robin. I just want to show this off because it's almost like, it's so exciting because it's almost done. Like, it's one thing you start and now to be getting near the end, because I'll get Anna's piece next and I'll be finishing it for her, and it's like, this is exciting. Teresa picked these beautiful, beautiful silks from Be Stitch Me to use. Here, I'm very, in fact, taken with this one. This is called Moss. I am very taken with it. It's this beautiful greeny pink purple one. And I also really like this. No, Oak. It's Oak I like. Sorry. This is Moss. And I really like Oak. Oak and Moss. How dare I confuse those two? I also like this one. It's this beautiful pink, and it's called Toe Beans, which I just think is a hilarious name for a beautiful light pink. And so yeah, those are the 2 round robin pieces I've done, and I am sending them off to Anna, and hopefully she'll get them within a week or so. Yeah, back to the floss tube. Yeah, yeah, because those round robins are done, and I've mailed them off to Anna, so that's what I spent most of June working on. June 20th, 21st, it was that weekend, Lindy Stitches did a Midsummer Stitch event, which was amazing and really fun. So I signed up for that. I didn't get to participate as fully as I wanted to because my partner ended up picking up a shift at work, so I had less childcare than I wanted to, so it was a little hard to like join in on the tables because I didn't want my toddlers being like, ah, which not fun. But I really enjoyed going for like Annie's class on the jewelry cases and making them into like project cases, and just like the hangout events with all the various floss tubers. That was really fun to do. And this is my work on the freebie from Tiny Modernist. I'm not far off done on it. I'm getting there. I'm doing my own color conversion. I just got busy with life, so I didn't finish it. But yeah, I really enjoyed that event, and I actually used it as an excuse to start 2 more things while I was there. So while I was on the Thread Gremlins one, I started out let me just get myself organized. I started my Bring Out Your Kit Sal which I'm doing The Alluring Sorceress by it was Charts and Charms by Dimensions. Yep. And I'm doing it on Midnight Sky by Fiber on a Win. And so there's my beautiful middle start. I'm like, yes, I'm orienting it the right way. It's, yeah, this is just what I managed to do during their table they were hosting, because it was dark and that. And I'm putting it in this beautiful project bag from Kaylee Tent Stitch, which was part of my haul, but I'm using it. I was going to use it for Halloween projects, but also, I mean, the black cats and moons, it kind of gives me sorceress vibes, so it's working for that. So that was my first start. My second start, this was during the Boomerang Stitchers table. I started the Christmas baubles, which has a stitch along, baubles all the way. I just got the one little bit of the mistletoe up there. I'm doing this on 32 count navy, so it's a little dark. My eyes. And of course these tables were at night, so I just did not get far on them at the time, but that will change. And that is in my winter themed Kaylee Tent Stitch bag. So, you know, just there, that's a thing. So this is where I started at the Midsummer Stitch. I was also working on my round robin for that mostly. And so that was the two starts, because I thought it would be nice to start them with the people hosting the stitch alongs. Like, you know, they don't know I started during their tables, but I know. So I was like, that's fun, that's nice. This is my start on Selbu Santa by Cross Stitch Joe. It's on her Etsy shop, and it is a stitch along that Natasha, Britches Get Stitches, and I are just doing together because Joe is our friend of ours. And we decided we'd stitch her little Santa. I was working on that while I was at my parents' in June, just because I was just trying to get the whole outline done, and it felt like it's something easier to do. And then, like, you know, because it's just one color, so it's easy to bring. So I'll keep bringing that to my parents. So that was my two starts there. I also started my Whip Go calls for June. I did not finish them at all. I barely put any stitches in them. I basically put a strand of thread in them to say I started them, and I will keep playing catch up because that is what I've been doing with Whip Go. So this will be Quirky Quaker Fox. Yes. No, this will be Quirky Quaker Fox. This is a bit of fabric I got in my Kaylee bag. And the floss and the pattern I was passed on from Michelle Bendy. So I'm enjoying that. I'm also going to make an Arctic Fox conversion of it. I just haven't quite decided how to do it. I've been kind of playing around. I've got some flosses ordered. I'm just haven't found the right fabric yet, because I'm trying to envision it right, and it's not envisioning the vision I want. And then my other one was the Halloween Bottle, which is a freebie by Fine Frog cross stitching, and this is just basically the top of it. It's a really fun color palette. It's just, you know, I was busy. The other new start I'm doing, this one I actually just started a couple days ago. It's for the Animal Weirdo stitch along, and I forget who's hosting it because I forgot to look that up before I started. And I'm doing a pattern designed by my friend Amanda, and it's called Platy Party. That's just my little start. I'm just trying to use like my random off-brand DMC flosses for it, because it will fit really well, because I just need like a few lengths here and there for it. And it's because she's not a designer. She designs, but she doesn't have a shop or anything like that. So this is just a pattern. And she was just kind of showing me a pattern. I was like, you could make that into a biscornu. And she's like, what's a biscornu? And I was like, well, it's kind of like this. And it's been the blind leading the blind, because I've never made a biscornu. I just know what they are. And so I feel I'm working on it. It's gonna work. It's gonna be fun. I've lined up some buttons. I'm hoping to finish this. I'm doing on a 14 count, and it's a very small pattern overall, so I'm hoping that will come together somewhat fast, but we'll see. And my last new start, this is the Plants and Petrichor stitch along that is being hosted by Fine Frog Stitching. Ooh, this is making my fabric look amazing in this light. Ooh. You know, sometimes just like, yes. I dyed this fabric myself. I really love the Witch's Garden Craft one created for the stitch along. Like all the photos. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep showing this because I'm like really digging how this is like showing up in this light. So she had a really gorgeous fabric dye for it. And if I had been more together, maybe I could have ordered it in time for it to get to Canada, or ordered enough that the shipping felt justified to me. That's the biggest problem, is like the shipping to Canada. Like one piece of fabric. I don't know if you can hear my daughter screaming. Sorry, that was one of my eyes because I can hear her yelling. And I'm like, what is she going on about? But she's with her dad, not my problem. Nope. Anyway, so I was saying, like, the shipping, right? And it's like the piece of fabric will be $20-25 and the shipping will be $20-25, and it's like, and it's just it's very hard for me to justify that most days. And like the fabric was gorgeous, but I was like, you know what, I got fabric, I got red dye, like let's go with it. And this turned out, like, this is a very gorgeous green. Like, I'm very happy with it. The thing is, it's reading more like a green with blue tones, and I think it needs to be more of a teal with green tones. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, it's going to work perfectly fine for the stitch along. Like, it's gorgeous, it's great. It just didn't turn out how I envisioned it, which is kind of, I think, how dyeing goes if you're just experimenting and mucking around. Like, you can't be upset if it doesn't work out quite the right way. It's just what it is. So that's everything that I've started. I hadn't, and like with the round robins, I didn't really make progress on the older whips. I was just not feeling it. That's that. I did buy some things and have a bunch of hauls, so I'm going to show those. I got this from our cross stitch buy and sell group in Canada. It's just the raccoon pattern. This is just going into my stash for now to start at some point. I don't know when. It's been on my list for a while, so I was happy to have acquired it for a reasonable price. So that was from the not the Buy Nothing group, the cross stitch buy and sell group. I also got really lucky. I know I posted about this when I was with my parents, but I got like there was a lady who was done cross stitching and moving, so she sold all her stuff to me for a good price. And then while I was like cackling, and I'm not even going to show it because like it's a ridiculous amount of, and I've been trying to put it away, but it was a ridiculous amount of like mostly a lot of old patterns. I did not find many gems in it, but I did find a lot of gems fabric wise, so I was going through that. And I'm still categorizing all the floss. But I was cackling over my little hoard at my parents. I was like, ha ha ha, ha ha ha, ha ha ha, right? My parents, their neighbor was over for dinner, and she's like, oh, I used to cross stitch. Do you want my stuff too? And I was like, well, I mean, I won't say no. So I got all her stuff too, and yeah. And it's the same thing. Like, the floss is fine. There's a whole bunch of very dated 80s, 90s patterns. Not too many I'm wanting to save. There's a few Christmas ones that I'm going to, and but I was really touched because she also gave me some finished cross stitches, and like just so like she had these two really beautiful flowers. They're, you know, I would never stitch these like for myself, but like they're very delicate, they're very feminine, they're very fancy. It bugs me. There's a couple of incomplete stitches in this one up here, but there's no way I'm going to be able to shade match that pink, nor do I want to. And I'm like, now I'm looking at this one too. It's like, yeah, I can see one. Yeah, so I can see there's a couple imperfections in the stitching, which is just mostly me being me. But like, they're very beautiful, and I was like, you know, this neighbor is a very kind lady, and it was very sweet of her. So what I want to do is I went into my frame pile, and I've got this, and I'm going to take these out. I've got this frame I got from Value Village. Yep, it's low. And these, that's why they're folded up. These will fit very nicely in this frame. And then I just need to get some, like, I'm thinking a dark green matting, like to play with the leaf colors, just like that. And then that can sit on my makeup stand, I think. And that'll be a very beautiful touch, because like, you know, just knowing who she is and what a wonderful person that she is, I think it'll be nice to have and to share. Continuing on that, so I showed off my Kaylee bag. I also got fabric from Kaylee because that was actually more my main purpose. So I got this one called Gold Streak, and I am planning to restart my Modern Folk Embroidery 2024 stitch along on that because I was not getting very far with it, and I realized it is because I did not like my choices. So surprise, surprise, if you don't like your choices, you're not going to work on it. So I got that. I think that's going to be much more in tune with what I'm envisioning. And then I got this 32 count at the lake. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I almost want to put that raccoon on it. But I did have a plan for this, so I'm going to have to use that one first. And then see, but it's a secret plan, so shh. Actually, I think it's totally fine. I don't think that person watches my channel at all. But I just want to stitch up something and then pass it on. So that was my last purchase. I got this from Jen of Jasmine's Custom Bags. It was her Christmas in July. Look at these little mushrooms with the mistletoe. It is so cute. I love them. I think what I have in here is just my, yes, I have in here my small Christmas ornaments. That's what's in here. Oh yeah, and there's that. Speaking of which, during the Cross Stitch the Globes, I started the Hello from Liz Matthews freebie for Steph's Hello 40 B-Day sale. However, I'm going to have to rip this completely out. I was stitching 2/2 and it's too tight. I don't like it. So I'm going to have to rip it out and stitch 1/2. And I didn't get too far in it before I decided I didn't like it. It's fine. It's just like a pain in the butt, you know? Love doing that to myself. So then I'm going to move on to Stitchy Kindness and Haul. I am really flying through this. I feel like, just like I'm looking at the time, I'm like, this is going to be a short one. I participated in the Awesome Animal Swap hosted by Heather. Link is my homeboy. Check them out. And we did, it was Awesome Animals, and I got this beautiful dragon from Jacqueline. Look, it is amazing. Because I was honestly expecting owls or cats when I, fill out the form, but I kind of put like dragons because I was like, maybe I'll get, just maybe, right? And so I got the dragon one from, I know this pattern is by Haunted Frame Stitchery. So it's this beautiful Jessie fabric. She used like overdyed floss. She added beads. Like, this is amazing. And I've been wanting to fill my floss tube or like film a clip so I can hang this up. My toddler's also obsessed with it. She keeps like, because this frame is very textured and like these beads, so she keeps like wanting to touch it. I don't blame her. It's very tactile. And it's just like, no, this needs to be hung up where I can appreciate it. She sent this a beautiful card with cats on it. My toddler is also stealing this. She sent me some pretties. I love these. I feel like, yes. Yeah, these are very pretty. And she spoiled me and she sent me some Jessie fabric, which I need to show off because if you don't know who Jessie and Mislaid Pages is, this is a fabric to be getting. So this is Wrath. The only problem with Jessie fabrics is they're so incredible. Like, it's like, I don't know what pattern to put on them because it, balance them out. And this one here is Grass Stain, which is a fat quarter. And I really want to put like a fancy lady of some sort on it. I just don't know which fancy lady, like one of the earth ones, but I don't think Willow Creek. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking about it. I am contemplating because it could be a fancy lady. It's definitely fancy lady worthy. So the last one, this one, Cross Stitch in the Forest. I think everybody has gotten a copy of this book or has seen it. If you want a nice flip through, Runner Stitcher did one. The Runner Stitcher did one. So I'm not going to go into that because me and this book have beef. And I haven't even. So I pre-ordered it at the beginning of June. Max had shared that, hey, like on Amazon, it's like $21. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. Because I was already planning on pre-ordering it. I just hadn't gotten around to it yet. And I was like, well, for 21 bucks, like, yes, I'll go through Amazon. So I pre-ordered it, right? That's it. Because this book was released July 31st or August 1st, something like that. So I don't have my order's there. I don't have a shipping notice or anything like the day it's published or the day after. But I'm like, it's not like, this isn't like Harry Potter Twilight hype, right? It could probably take, a couple days to, work through the system. But I'm getting nothing. And like, when you went to the page itself on Amazon, it was like, order it today, get delivered today. And I was like, why is mine not shipped? Like, so I contact Amazon and they're like, oh, there was a glitch, like it, like something. I could go back and explain it, but I guess it was reading something with the labels. It was going that. So it wasn't sent. So they're like, okay, we've escalated, fixed it. 48 hours, you'll have a notice. Okay. I wait 48 hours. Nothing. So I contact them again. And then And the whole time, you know, and I go through again. I was like, okay, like, you know, I've escalated again, like, you know, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, great. And they're like, we'll give you a $5 credit for your trouble. I'm like, okay, sure, thanks, you know, whatever, I'll take your money, Bezos. And then I get a delivery date. So then it gives me a delivery date. October 4th. They were going to deliver this book to me October 4th. And I was just like, how? What? October 4th? I can go into the page and it will say I can deliver it to you in 8 hours. So again, I contact them again. And they're like, okay, yes. And because the issue was it was now like $32 to buy, and it was like a $10 price difference. I'm sorry, I'm not giving, you know, no. So they were like, okay, we'll cancel the order. We'll, you know, order again. Once you receive it, contact us. We'll refund you the price difference. So I was like, okay, great. And it literally showed up within like 12 hours of ordering it. I'm like, oh, was that so hard, Amazon? Was that so hard? So I was here this morning when I woke up and I was like, yay, so excited. Yay, my book. I'm filling a floss. This is perfect. Like, I'm not going to show you the pattern, but yep. Yep. Damn. And it's only the 2 pages, but like also like I'm a consumer. I paid for a product. It should be, you know, this isn't, you know, it's Amazon. So I contact them again. And this took a very long time to get sorted out. And so they've decided I can keep this copy, which I mean, it's okay, fine. Thank you, Amazon. And they'll send me a new one free of charge, and they refunded me the price difference. That was this whole other story because the person assisting me was not, the math was not mathing. I was like, no, it should be this much. And they're like, no, it should be this much. I'm like, it should be this much. Like, I paid this much. This was the price I paid. X minus Y equals Z. Z, give me Z. And it was going. And they say I'm talking to an associate, but I don't always feel like I was talking to an associate. They were very effusive in how they were apologizing for things. I'm like, I don't know, is this something you're trained in? So, you know, when I get my little survey, I was satisfied, right? Like, the wording was very off to me sometimes. I was like, are you a real person? Like, you're better responsive than the AI initially, but I'm still not 100% convinced I was talking to real people. And then, like, at the end, they're like, okay, like, we'll credit your Amazon account. I was like, no, I want the money back in my account. And so then, they had to disappear because they had to talk to a supervisor. I'm like, oh, why do you have to talk to a supervisor to refund my card? And I don't have the $5 credit. And I'm like, do I go back and ask about that? Considering I've gotten a mostly functional book for free. And I've already, it was a struggle. Bezos knew I was talking. Bezos knew I was talking. That's my warning. Yeah. So I can't even like properly appreciate the book because it's been such a hassle to get it. I mean, it's a beautiful pattern. I know everyone's done their flip throughs and talked about ones they want to do. There's a beautiful grizzly bear, which is one of the damaged ones, so I can't really show that because it's all gibbered up. But what I'm really looking forward to doing is, of course, the Snow Queen. That one is very appealing to me. I have a lot of pigeon coop designs already. Pigeon coop is like actually one of the reasons I got really into cross stitch. So I'm excited. There, and for like 20-ish bucks in the hassle, it worked out for me. I'm just trying to find the other one I really liked. Oh no, why can't I find you? Yeah, it's fine. It's a good book. Go check out the Runner Stitchers walkthrough. And this is my other one I've been working on. This was a little freebie Max put out if you pre-ordered. The fox is done, the top is done. It's just like all the geometric fill-in on the side, which he is well known for. I was wanting to do a cute little reveal, but my motivation for working on that piece went very much downhill as the length of waiting went uphill on that. I was just dealing with Amazon this morning, so I'm still like, you know, like they don't give you an option to just call. You have to go through the chat and you're just waiting, and you're saying one thing and they're like, oh, and it's like, no, that's not what I said at all. Like, but yeah, that was my adventures. My plans for August, I'm mostly caught up on my round robins. I just have, so when I finish those, get those all mailed out. I am doing the fancy florals swap, so I want to get that piece done and mailed. I am going more international than usual, so without giving too much away. So I want to make sure I have that ahead, like the first day of mailing rather than near the end, just to make sure it arrives in a timely manner. I'm trying to figure out like the little bits and bobs and extras to go along with that. So that's one of my goals. I have to start my August whip goes and finish off them. And I'm mostly in a stage where I have so many projects, and I always say this, right? But I'm not motivated to work on them. Like I like starting new things. I like kitting things up, but then I get to a stage like, here where this is like very, this could be done in a day or two, and then I have no motivation. Nope, moving on, start something new, and it's terrible. And I think it's just how my brain works. Like I don't necessarily care about the finishes. I like the process, and I like the process up to the middle part. So, I mean, it's already August. My big goal is to stay on top of the femurs and not the femurs and fungi. I failed femurs and fungi, plants and petrichor. I'm on track to being ready for the first drop. So I've broken it down how many stitches to do a day. So I'm on track. I'm actually a smidge ahead. So that's my first goal. I want to do some more Halloween stitching with the Halloween Just Cross Stitch magazine, because there's a lot of good ones in there, like a 13 Days of Halloween or something. And I guess I almost want to work backwards. Like this, I want to finish everything I've started, obviously, but what I'm motivated on is the stuff I've started recently, and then slowly work through my backlog of older whips. I know last December I did there was like a 12 days of Christmas thing, and I picked my 12 oldest whips, and I finished I think 8 of them, which was, well, they were all small, which was good. So I'm kind of looking at that and figuring how do I do this, because I have stitching with deadlines, and that's fun, and fun stitching and stitch alongs. And then how do I get progress on these older ones that I still like, I still love, I'm just not as enthused about, because sparkle, I chase the sparkle, and how do I bring the sparkle back into these old projects? And I think it's just a matter of rotating them and keeping it fresh and keeping myself motivated that I will like them once they're done. And it's just having to get through that boring 50% to 75%, which is where I'm at. Because I find I'm excited until halfway, and then I'm excited near the end where the finish is close, and it's just that middle portion where it's done, but it's not done enough. I need a support group. I need an in-life stitching group, and that would get me going. Next month, the Megans and I are going to the Stitch Retreat in Banff, so I'm thinking maybe I should try and pick some of those projects there, because I will literally be trapped in a hotel conference room, so I won't be able to be as distracted as I usually am, especially because we're not staying in the hotel itself, so I will not be able to wander up to my room or leave. I'm very much going to be dependent on Megan and her car to go anywhere. So maybe that's how I'll get it done, but I know we've already planned to go check out a quilt show that's there at the same time. Yeah, so that is my update for July and my plans for August, which is mostly just to get ahead on things. So yeah, thank you for everyone for watching. This was a shorter one than usual, which is maybe not bad. I'm figuring out how my new normal. As always, I feel like with toddlers it's a new normal every month. But yeah, again, thank you everyone for watching. I always appreciate it, and I hope you have the best day available to you. Bye.